Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. Please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. And you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. Now, let's get into the news.
On camera.
Yes, sir.
So I'm showing you what's marked for identification as State's Exhibit number 6. The recording that you saw of your body-worn camera that you were wearing that evening, is that a fair and accurate depiction of what your body-worn camera recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it fair to say that a body-worn camera can't capture everything that the human eye can,
Correct.
but it does capture what it captures, and that body-worn camera was on you?
Yes, sir.
For State's Exhibit number 6.
It's admitted. You may publish at your discretion.
All right, what I'd like to do, Officer Lee, I'm going to publish this to the jury uninterrupted from the moment that you are driving up to the Southside Flats until you walk out of Botham apartment, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then what we'll do is, so that way the jury gets a good look without being interrupted.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to go over it again and just point out some things that I think are important, okay?
Yes, sir.
And if you want, Officer Lee, you're more than welcome to look at any of these TVs, but you also have one right next to you. Just make yourself as comfortable as you want.
Come on, Chief. Come on, Chief. Come on, Chief. Come on, Chief. Look in this counter. See if he got any first aid. Look in this bathroom and underneath this counter. Hold pressure on. Hold pressure on. Oh, we got it. We got it. Come on, bro. Yeah, roll around. Let's see if it's through. Come on, Chief. Come on, Chief. We just switched already. They are? But how can we get them up here? Hey, tell them no suspect. Yeah. Because I'm full of shit. Come on, big time. Come on. Take your phones. Anything? Mike.
Yeah, you had no idea what was going on, by the way. They didn't know why we were running.
Check. Mike.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, does anyone have pressure?
Hey, who's that ball getting out? Right here.
Hey, does anyone have pressure bandages?
Turkey's no good.
Oh, no. The pressure shit. The pressure shit.
The quick clock stuff. Need a switch in?
Yeah.
I get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Come on. Come on, buddy. Wait till someone gets over here and take over for me. Josh, I'm out.
Who don't have gloves on? Do me a favor. Take out. Take the pad, write his name down for me. Take this DL for me. This DL number for me. 411-98074. Add it to the call sheet.
What's his apartment? 3661, what do you have to work?
Your Honor, I'm going to stop publication at 11 minutes and 29 seconds into the state's exhibit. All right. Officer Lee, first, let me just start with this. Did you recognize the officer that Officer Blair encountered in the hallway on this particular evening when you arrived?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that person to be Amber Guyger?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Would you please point to that person and tell me what that person is wearing?
White sweater and dark dress, blouse.
Let the record reflect that the witness is identified as the defendant in open court. At that particular time when you entered into Mr. Jean's apartment, did you see any signs of life from him? Not signs of life. He was alive, correct?
Yes, sir.
But was he responsive? Was he alert, conscious?
No, sir.
Okay. What did you and Officer Blair begin to do immediately?
CPR, first aid.
Is that how you're trained?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice that Mr. Jean was in apparent life and death crisis?
Yes, sir.
Once you and Officer Blair began the regimen of providing him aid, did you and your fellow officers stop for any reason?
No, sir.
You, as a matter of fact, you kept doing it, or actually Officer Blair started, and then you took over for Officer Blair, and then Officer Hamilton took over at some point for you both.
Yes, sir.
You gave him continuous 100% attention of your time to his needs.
Yes, sir.
After DFR arrived, did you see that they took over and also gave him continuous uninterrupted care?
Yes, sir.
As a citizen, would you expect anything less from our police officers?
No, sir.
Your body-worn camera, I believe, puts you at the scene at 22, or pardon me, it puts the start of your video recorder at 22:02:06, 10:02:06. So you made it to the apartment complex rather quickly, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't live at that apartment complex, do you?
No, sir.
Have you ever lived at that apartment? On the couch, would you look at those and tell me if they are fair and accurate depictions, except for being lightened from the actual recording?
Yes, sir.
And I've shown you these before, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for purposes not to depict lighting, because I have lightened these, do these show at least the crease on the couch and the proximity of what appears to be a bowl of food to the couch in State's Exhibit number 296?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just, I don't suppose probably there would be any reason at all why you would remember this, but do you remember what was in that bowl that was next to his couch?
No, sir.
Okay, but do you see that it was there?
Yes, sir.
I'll offer States 295 to 303.
Judge, I'm going to object in that these photos have been altered by being lightened, and they don't fairly and accurately depict what was on the body camera. They've been altered, and we don't know how they were altered or what the lighting was added, and therefore it's not a proper predicate, and it's not relevant, and it's subject to being misleading and confusing, and also it's more prejudicial than more probative.
Mr. Herman, what was the basis or the reason why those photos were lightened?
Judge, I was very, very clear with the court and with the jury, these are not being offered to establish the lighting conditions because they have been lightened. They have been brightened. The purpose is to show certain images within those screenshots, like the seam of the couch, so that you can see where the bowl of food is lined up with the crease of the couch, so you know what seat it's in front of and what seat it's not. It's not to depict the lighting conditions, but rather the proximate locations of the various items within the apartment at the time that Officer Lee went in, because after Officer Lee and the fellow officers arrive, and there's a number of them in there, items get moved because they're trying to give life-saving assistance. You can see some of the movement of items. These will depict the location of certain things as best they existed at the time they entered.
So the purpose of those photographs is to show the location of various items within the apartment prior to the movement of the furniture or whatever item is depicted.
Yes, ma'am. And by lightening them, for example, one of the things that it does on the couch, it will allow for the fact finder to see where the individual cushions are.
And those photographs were taken from the video that we just viewed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, I would just say that information can be gleaned from just straight still shots from the video without having the lighting. It alters, and I don't know what lighting was added, or I can't cross-examine whoever lightened these and to what effect.
I believe you just stated that lighting was not the issue. It's the placement and location of the items. So the court will allow the admission of exhibits 295 through 303.
And just for the record, Judge, my objections on under improper predicate and 401 and 403 are those overruled.
Yes, they are.
Commissioner Public States Exhibit 296.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Officer Lee, by lightening up the photograph, again, just to make it abundantly clear, this photograph does not represent the lighting as it existed that you saw, correct, when you were inside the apartment?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
But for the purposes of showing where the seams are in the couch, here and over here, this bowl, whatever it is, since you don't recall what it contained, the original location, as best as it was when you guys entered, is that place, that bowl of ice cream, right around the middle section of that couch?
Yes, sir.
High school?
Yes, ma'am.
What high school did you graduate from?
Crossroads.
Did you attend college?
Yes, ma'am.
And what college did you attend?
South Florida.
And what was your primary studies in?
Running my own business, I manage. Ma'am.
Now, I want to direct your attention to September 6th, 2018.
Okay.
Where were you residing at the time?
Southside Flats,
What was your apartment number?
1437.
Earlier that day, did you get a visit from the leasing office?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the court about that?
The leasing people came, knocked on our doors, and it was like they had a noise complaint. It was around like 2 p.m. It was kind of odd because there wasn't no noise.
Okay, and you say our doors. When you say our, who are you referring to?
Botham door. They came and knocked on me and Bo's door, and just that's how I actually met him, because he came out the door.
Okay. And that was on the day of September 6, 2018 at about 2 something in the afternoon?
Yeah, around like 1 or 2.
Okay. And you said it was for a purpose of a noise complaint, but there was no noise?
Right.
Okay. And that was your first time meeting Botham, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did y'all have a conversation that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did y'all talk about?
Basically how me and Bo were both smoking weed, and we kind of knew that it was coming to our door because of maybe the scent of the weed.
Okay. And can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, where was your apartment in relation to Mr. John's apartment?
So if my apartment was right here, I could reach over. Bo's apartment was probably like directly across from mine.
May I approach the witness, John?
Yes.
Now, Joshua, I'm showing you what's been marked and admitted as State's Exhibit 34B. Do you see your apartment on this location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said what was your apartment number?
1437.
Okay. And so your apartment would have been directly across from Mr. Jones' apartment in 1478?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you said had a brief conversation. After that interaction, did you, I guess, leave the apartment?
Yeah. No, I went back inside and played the game, and then that was about it. I left later on that night.
What was the purpose of you leaving later on that night?
To go watch a football game
And where did you watch that at?
at Bombshells.
And because this particular day was kickoff season to the NFL, correct?
Yeah, the Falcons were playing. Probably like a Thursday night game. Started NFL season. Yeah.
And you remember the Falcons playing?
Yeah, I think the Falcons and the Eagles were playing. I believe so.
Did you have any particular interest in any of those games?
Yeah, I know two. My cousin plays safety for the Falcons, and a friend of mine plays for the Eagles. So I just wanted to make sure I was there to watch the game.
Okay. And where did you watch the game at?
At Bombshells.
And where's that located?
Like off 35.
It's like 35 at Empire Central, up in that area?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get to and from the game, Bombshells?
I took a lift. I knew I'd be having a few drinks, so I took a lift there and back.
When you returned to Southside Flats that evening, did you watch the entire game?
Nah, I left. No, ma'am. I left at halftime.
When you returned to Southside Flats that evening via lift, which way did you enter?
Through the elevator.
Okay. Was that the main elevator in the middle of the complex?
The elevator in the garage, in the parking garage.
Hallway where I walk to my door.
Okay. So when you started to come down this main hallway, what do you hear?
When I get about right here.
And is that where the two hallways meet to make the turn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
When I get about right here, it's kind of when I hear like what I would describe as two people meeting each other. I'm surprised, so I'm assuming, the doors open and two people meet, and then I hear the two gunshots go off.
Okay. So let's stop there for a second. You said when you get to the conjunction between the two hallways, you hear what sounds like two people meeting by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And what made you think that it was two people meeting by surprise?
Cause I couldn't make out what either one of them was saying. I couldn't tell y'all today that what either one of them was saying. It was like it wasn't English, so but I just knew it was two people meeting, two human beings meeting. So that's the only way I could describe it.
Okay. Was it two separate voices?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell if one of the voices was giving loud commands like stop, police, or anything of that nature?
Yeah, but no, that wasn't what they were saying.
That's not what you heard?
No.
Okay. However, you say you didn't hear exactly what you heard.
No, I can't say I heard any type of words that I can make out.
Okay. Once you, in that conjunction between the two hallways, and hear the voices and the pop, how soon after the voices did you hear the sounds of gunshots?
Right after.
Right after?
Right after.
It was
right after.
quick?
Quick.
And the two gunshots you heard, were they quick?
They were quick.
Okay. You heard the two gunshots.
I ran back out of it.
Okay. Fair enough. And so you ran back out toward the elevator area.
Right here, because I can see my door from right here. So I ran here, about right here, to look and see if I could see somebody in my apartment.
Okay, because this courtyard is open air courtyard, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can see directly across.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're looking to see if someone is in your apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long did you stay in this particular area of the garage?
I seen a guy come out. I seen other people come out of the patio, and I asked them, with those gunshots that I heard, they all said yes. So probably like within 2 minutes, I put it in my head, like I still got my dog in my room. So I went walked back over there.
Okay, so you start walking back toward your apartment down the same corridor. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you make the corner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once you made the corner, did you observe anybody in the immediate area of your apartment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did it look like there was any disruption in this immediate area of your apartment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you proceed into your apartment at 1437?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You may take your seat. So Joshua, when you get into your apartment, what was the next thing you did?
The first thing I did was just checked on my dog, make sure everything was straight, and honestly, I went over the balcony and kind of like turned my game on and went off the balcony.
Okay. And when you went over to the balcony, did you see anything when you looked outside the balcony?
I seen like it took a minute, but then I seen her come out.
And when you say her, you pointed over towards the defense table.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you see the defendant, Amber Guyger, come out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did you observe her doing?
Just on the phone.
Okay. And were you on your balcony looking out the balcony door, or were you looking out the window?
I was looking at the balcony, and then I went to the window.
And you see her on the phone. Can you describe her demeanor?
She was crying, explaining what happened, what she thought happened, saying she came into the wrong apartment, and that was about it.
Do you recall, Joshua, how long you were inside your apartment before you heard the defendant in the hallway?
Probably like 2-3 minutes.
At some point, did you go to your front door?
Yeah, I kept looking out my front door.
Did you open the door, or were you looking out the peephole?
I was looking at the peephole.
And when you're looking out the peephole, what do you see?
I just see her like going back and forth on the phone, and then I think she went back inside, then came back out.
When she comes back out, has other officers arrived?
At this time, I'm not sure, cause I think I seen some more officers, but I seen officers in the courtyard when I was on the balcony, so they didn't get there. By the time she got there, she came out her room. I mean, she came out onto the hallway and met the officers. That was you asking, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand. The first time you see the defendant, she's on in the walkway, you're on the balcony, and she's on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then she goes back into the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you see her exit out of the apartment again?
Yes.
Okay. Had you ever seen the defendant before on your floor?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever seen her in the apartment complex?
No, ma'am.
Had you met the complainant before that day?
The complainant, you mean?
The Botham
Both?
gentleman
Yeah,
firm.
yes. Well, I met him that day.
Okay. Had you ever seen him in the building before that day?
No, I can't say I can't say I seen him. I heard him in there.
Okay. When you say you heard him, what did you mean?
Heard him singing every morning.
Okay. You heard him singing. What kind of things did you hear him sing?
Gospel music, Drake.
And your door is directly across the hall from where Mr. Jones' apartment was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so in the mornings, were you inside of your apartment when you heard Mr. Jones singing, or outside of your apartment?
I'll probably hear him when I come out, lock my door. I'll hear him.
Okay. So from in the hallway, you can hear his activities inside his apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? You have to say it out loud, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Now approach, Your Honor.
Yes. Here.
Thank you. Here. And we can take a moment, Joshua. This is fine. We're not in a rush, okay?
Yeah, we need a moment.
Deputy Johnson. She's like, you retired.
All right.
So we just took a break for the witness to compose himself. Talk us through what we just heard.
Well, this is the first witness we've heard from who was present when
13th of 2018.
Okay. So if my math is right, between July 13th, 2018 and September 6th, approximately 56 days of residency. Is that at least ballpark?
Yes, that's accurate.
With my math, that may be off a day or two. That's going to be very close. All right. Was she in any way employed by your apartment complex as in her capacity as a police officer?
No, she was not.
All right. Who do you guys use a private firm for security?
We do use a third party.
All right. And did Ms. Guyger get any kind of a discount though because she was a police officer?
No, she did not get a discount on her rent. There was an upfront Hometown Heroes program that we did for any police officers or teachers where they received a discount off move-in fees.
Okay. So her rent would have been a little bit reduced because of that?
It wasn't a rent, it was more of a move-in fee. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like off an administrative fee or an application fee.
Okay. But that would apply to like teachers and firemen as well as police officers?
Yes.
Okay. The entrance here into your apartment.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a balcony that has an open door, or you can open the door to the courtyard?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so as you were walking there, or as you were getting out of your truck, did you see anything that was a little bit out of the ordinary to you?
I noticed an officer, and I hadn't seen an officer on my floor.
Okay. Before you actually noticed it was an officer, did you notice a vehicle that kind of brought itself to your attention?
Yes, it was a white truck.
Okay, like a pickup truck?
Yes.
And what was it about the truck that made you pay attention to it?
Because it was going fast around the corner, and driving a big truck, I used to slow down, but they were driving fast, so it kind of caught my eye.
Okay, so it was just something that was different, and so you paid attention to it?
Yes, sir.
All right, did you give it much thought, though?
At that time, no.
Okay, so you see a white truck coming around the corner. Was it coming around the corner to park on the level 4 at the same place as you were?
Yes.
All right, did the vehicle park, do you recall?
Yes, it did.
Okay, anything unusual about the parking, or did you not notice that?
I mean, back then,
Hold on one second, you may have something to talk about.
Whose phone is it? Was it yours?
Can I proceed, Judge?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So you saw the vehicle come up. The vehicle. Did you pay any mind to the parking of it, or were you just moving along to your apartment at that
I
point?
mean, I was really just moving along. I mean, I just noticed it pull in and back in. That's really it.
Okay, the vehicle backed in.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did it back in kind of more towards the main entrance?
Yes.
Or the entrance by the elevator?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the person who got out of that white pickup truck?
Yes.
Was it a male or a female?
Female.
Okay, and that was that person dressed like a police officer?
Yes.
All right, did that stand out to you?
Yes, it did. Cause I mean, it just caught my eye because I hadn't seen it, so obviously it would catch my eye.
Okay, so again, it's something different.
Yes.
That because of the difference, you made note of it.
Yes.
All right. Incidentally, get to your point.
Just go in and I think I actually was about to cook me something to eat.
Okay, what happened then?
And then I heard gunshots.
Okay, how many gunshots do you remember?
2.
Okay, were you actually for sure, did you hear 2 or 3, or did you just know it was multiple gunshots?
It was multiple gunshots.
Okay, were they fast?
Yes.
Like bang bang?
I mean, I couldn't tell you. I mean, they were close enough. I mean, they were close to each other, but I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay. Did you recognize it immediately as being gunshots?
Yes.
All right. Are you familiar with the sound of a gunshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did you think when you heard the gunshots?
Honestly, first thing I thought was, hey, I'm paying this money, stay in these apartments, and there's shooting. So, and I kind of heard it, and that's what I thought, and then I just went along with what I was doing.
Okay. And then did you, a couple of minutes later, some minutes later, did you hear voices?
Yes.
Was it a male or a female voice?
Female voice.
And what did you hear the female voice saying to the best of your recollection?
It was saying that there was someone in my apartment. Just kept repeating that.
Someone in my apartment?
Yeah.
And repeating that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember anything else being said?
That's really all that I could recollect that I actually heard.
Okay.
Because it was a lot, when it happened, there was a lot of commotion. But that's what I heard.
Okay. Did you hear, prior to the shooting, did you hear any kind of screaming, or have you ever seen TV, or I don't even know in your real life, have you ever seen where police have given loud commands to somebody that they want to get control of? They're like, get on the ground, or show me your hands. Commands to that effect that are loudly spoken to get compliance.
Yes.
Did you hear anything like that before the shots were fired?
No, sir.
Okay. Just the shots, and then several minutes later you heard a female voice talking about wrong apartment.
Yes.
Okay. Tell the jury how the doors are set up in that particular apartment complex.
So for the door, for 1478, I believe they're all consistent. The handle is what I would call passive. It does not lock or unlock. There's no locking mechanism to it. It just has a throw that will catch the door and hold it secure if it's all the way flush in the door frame. Above that is the deadbolt that accepts the key from the outside, and it has a lever on the inside to manually lock it from the inside. And above that, there's an additional deadbolt that you cannot see from the outside.
Okay. And is that door going to remain open? When I say open, I mean not locked for someone to come and go unless one of the deadbolts are thrown either from the inside or the outside?
Yes.
So the handle that's located at the bottom, it doesn't have any locking feature?
That's correct.
Okay. So if a resident was there and they didn't want to lock the door would be open for persons who wanted to open the door?
Yes.
2218. All right, is this going to be after the fact? I'll tell you what, I'm going to...
Piggybacking up further.
Yeah, I'll do it to where she gets in the car.
Just go from when she backs up and drives in.
Okay.
So I don't have to assume what happened.
Did you delete these messages out of your, God bless you, do these messages still exist on your phone, Officer Rivera?
They don't.
Can you tell the jury why those messages don't exist on your phone?
Several reasons. That's not something that I would want to be reminded of, speaking of the night. And I don't keep messages saved unless it's of an importance to me.
So your partner was involved in a shooting. You know she's going to be investigated. Now you're telling us that you deleted those messages.
I did.
Okay, hold a second. Wait a minute, hold on. Why do you have a laptop in here?
I'm so sorry, I'm investigating.
No, I asked you, why do you have a laptop in here? Are you an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Please give that laptop to the bailiff, and you put it wherever you wish to put it. I've asked, I don't know how plainer I can make it.
I'm so sorry.
And why are the,
I don't know what's happening. It just,
I know, please bring it to me,
I'm not
sir.
turning it
Just
off.
please bring it to me.
I'm so sorry, Judge.
You've been here more than anybody. You've been here almost every time we've had court. I don't even know how this could happen. I don't need any apologies. Just let me have it. Just let me have it. And why are the people locked out? This is the people's courtroom. Let the people come inside.
Over the Amber Guyger trial made headlines for this reaction to a gag order violation by the Dallas County DA. And today our Steve Pickett learned more about the woman behind the gavel. He's joining us live to give us a little insight. Steve?
Doug, full disclosure, I have known Judge Tammy Kemp since we were both students in college back in the early 80s, and I've covered her as a prosecutor here as in the district attorney's office over the past decade or so. I am not aware, since she's not talking, if she's even aware of all the attention she is getting based on her work presiding over this case. She presides over the most talked about criminal trial in the state, if not the nation, right now. But State District Judge Tammy Kemp quickly became a social media centerpiece herself after the Twitter postings of her reactions and responses in her courtroom.
Why do you have a laptop in here? Are you an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Please give that laptop to the bailiff. Or let the DA did an interview about this trial.
That specific posted video has been viewed now almost 900,000 times.
The way she is behaving is not surprising to anybody in this courthouse. Judge Kemp does not suffer fools.
Messina Matson is a criminal defense attorney and former Kemp co-worker in the DA's office when the judge led the Family Violence Division. Kemp was a top administrator for former District Attorney Craig Watkins. She labels her role of judge with 3 principles: accountable to the public, compassionate to crime victims, and fair to the accused.
I think you're going to hear time and again that Judge Kemp's going to be focused on what's right, what's fair, and what's professional. And that's what you see her doing in the courtroom right now.
She's not going to treat a high-profile case any differently.
Dallas attorney Heath Harris also worked alongside Kemp. The attention generated by the Guyger murder trial, he says, simply lets others see what he's seen.
No nonsense. I mean, she is strictly by the book. And her job, whether it was as a defense attorney or as a prosecutor or now as a judge, is to seek justice.
3 of John's neighbors also took the stand and testified they never heard Guyger yell commands for John to show his hands. Judge Tammy Kemp called a brief recess when neighbor Joshua Brown grew emotional after he recalled hearing John sing gospel music and Drake every morning. And we also heard from Dallas Police Officer Michael Lee, one of the officers who responded to the shooting call and provided CPR to Botham John, said cover and conceal is the recommended procedure for officers who believe an unauthorized person is inside a residence or building to ensure the safety of both the officer and the person inside. Once backup arrives, officers can then enter the room. That's what that officer said. And then we also heard from Ronald Jones, a chemistry teacher and football coach who used to live at Southside Flats. He takes the stand and witnessed during the Amber Guyger murder trial. He's the one that said he's seen Amber Guyger pulling up in the garage, parking in the garage. He was surprised because he never seen an officer before. We also heard from David Armstrong. He is the Texas Ranger in Dallas County who had took over the case. He took the stand in the Amber Guyger murder trial, and he talked about the locks, because that was something that we were concerned about, the locks, because we see that those are automatic doors. Because as you see in the video, I pointed out how the officers had to keep the doors open. They couldn't even let the door close because it would have closed on its own, so you had to keep it open. But he testified that didn't know that the turning part of the knob, the latch part or whatever, does not lock. So if you do not manually lock the door, then you can, I guess, push the knob down and open up the door. I'm assuming that's what he was trying to say. You let me know if you think that I'm off a tad bit. But I also felt the need to include, because this was Monday in the trial, what Amber's booty call said, because remember, he said that they were sexting and Snapchatting and texting each other right before and after she killed Botham John, and they erased all the messages, both of them, because remember, as I made a note of it in the video, was trying to figure out where the hell is Amber at. The police in trying to resuscitate Botham John, you know, but where was she at? I guess she was out in the hallway texting, sexing. I don't know what she was doing, but she definitely wasn't concerned about Botham. And then we seen how she got special treatment. She's standing outside talking, and then her friends come up and give her a nice little hug because they were so concerned about it. I don't know why, because Botham is the one that's dead, but nevertheless, she's getting a hug and being placed ever so carefully and nicely inside the police car, while Botham, on the other hand, is stretched out on the thing, most likely dead, being wheeled away. And I was just sitting up here thinking that, let's say that I was in a state where you can have a gun. You know, it's legal to walk around with a gun. So let's say I got my gun on me, and then I'm on the phone talking whatever. I'm just preoccupied, and I accidentally go to the wrong apartment because for whatever reason it looks like my apartment. I don't know, whatever. And then for whatever reason I'm able to go inside. I don't even know how. I guess this particular time, this particular day, this particular door is unlocked. So I'm able to go inside. I see somebody in there. I pull out my gun, shoot them, kill them, realize that, oh my goodness, this is my place. Call the police. I really strongly feel like they're going to put the cuffs on me and take me up out of there. Even though I'm saying that I didn't mean to, I thought this was my place, I don't think that they're going to have any mercy on me, because at the end of the day, I still took a gun and shot and killed somebody. You know, if I'm going to have a gun, then you got to pay a little bit more attention before you just pull it out shooting people. That's how we know that she got special treatment. I think she's going down. That's my personal opinion. I think she's going to jail, but then again, let me not speak too fast. This video is already so long, I don't want to make it too much longer. So I would like to say shout out to everyone that's invested in this trial. Shout out to all of my closet seekers for sending me information and emails and text messages, whatever, letting me know where to watch everything at. And if you think I missed something, what's going on, I appreciate it. Shout out to Judge Tammy Kemp for doing her thug dizzle with this case. I'm watching you, girl, seeing what you're doing. And I was under the assumption that when they say a gag order on the trial, that meant that we wouldn't be able to see or hear anything. I didn't know that meant that the attorneys and the DAs couldn't speak on the case, but the cameras would be let in. Totally appreciate that, because I would like to see and hear things for myself. You can check out the whole thing. There's a few places you can check it out, but WFAA on YouTube, you can check it out live. It's for hours. I know people are busy, don't have time to watch it. That's why I am here to kind of help you out, put things together. And anything that we have been questioning, we wanted to know some answers to. Things didn't make any sense. When I hear it, I will try to the best of my ability, shorten it shorten it for you so you can still get the details and present it to you just in case you're not able to watch this case on your own. I would like to know how you all feel about this situation, and while you are letting me know, could you please like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Genevas Closet, and you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. You all have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.